Losing matches, especially against theoretically weaker players, is something everyone would like to avoid. I went through this many times and it took me a very long time to find the reason, but once I understood it, my game became much more consistent, regardless of who I was playing against. So in this video, I would like to share with you these 5 things you need to improve to see a significant improvement in your game. Alright, the first mistake is something that I can see many times among beginner pool players, and this is actually a natural habit which they transfer to matches from their training sessions. Stop thinking about mechanics. Our cue action, stance and any other things are very important for quality of our game, but this is a thing that you should do only during your practice sessions. The only thing you should be doing during matches is deciding what spin and speed apply to the cue ball to guide it towards the intended area. This greatly simplifies your way of thinking because you focus only on completing the task. Being able to focus on current shot is extremely important, but it has to be coupled with something else, because if we forget about it, it can have a big impact on our confidence. This what I am doing here is a very small mistake which has huge consequences, and we can miss a lot of shots because of this. Stop thinking about consequences. During training, players pocket balls in almost 99% of their shots and do it without much pressure. However, when a match is played and it is very tense and even, we start to have a lot of doubts and our muscles stop working so smoothly. This is a mistake that can paralyze literally any player and significantly destroy your self-confidence. When you step into the shot, you need to be absolutely sure what you want to do during your current shot. Where you want to place the cue ball and what amount of spin and speed apply to it. This is absolutely magic thing, and trust me, if you understand it, you will be able to shoot with a lot of confidence and your game will become much easier. If you are not sure about your shot, then get up and prepare all things again. Aim, go down, make pre-strokes and shoot. Okay, and now we need to move on to discover our next extremely important thing, which I think turns out to be something that a huge number of players do wrong. Start building pressure during your practice. The first mindset I can see among a lot of players is that we come to training without any goal and just make shots without any sense. The second mindset is the complete opposite of the first one, because we come to training with a specific goal and do exercises that are very effective. And what I mean here is the ability to build match pressure during your training. The best way to build pressure during practice is to do drills in numerical order or to perform commonly experienced situations, trying to make as many correct shots in a row without making a mistake. My method is that if we make a mistake, we should go back to the beginning of exercise. I know this may sound really strange, but trust me that this is an extremely effective way to improve your ability to deal with pressure. Many players, when make a mistake, continue with the exercise, and in my opinion this is a very bad way of thinking. If you do this, you will not learn to accept responsibility for your mistakes. Let's imagine that you make 14 balls and miss the last 15th ball. It will be very painful for you to go back to the beginning of the drill. However, if you have trouble to find helpful exercises, you need to visit Pool Billiard's CEO website, where you will find diagrams and challenges which help you to improve your game, and by using my special link which you can see in the bottom right corner, you will receive a 20% discount on premium membership and full access to resources. Alright, we can very easily improve our 3 previous aspects during training at the table, but the next 2 require a small change in our behavior when we are no longer at the table. Don't disregard your opponents. You are playing with a much better player and you are able to be very close to him with score, which makes you feel nervous that you have a chance to beat him.
This one is not going to go in.
The same thing happens when you play with theoretically worse player, but it works the other way around, because you start to fear that you may lose to him, which will be embarrassing for you. We will start to feel very uncomfortable and will get nervous after every missed shot. Therefore, it is extremely important to treat every opponent the same, regardless of whether he is a top-class player or a beginner. And with this small step, we are going to discover our last important thing, which can ruin the potential of many very good players. Trust the process and stop pushing yourself. This is very important because the only thing we can control is doing our best, because we cannot control unexpected turns of events.
Look at this! He's gonna fall! Unbelievable!
You should stop showing your emotions after every failed shot, because it will help you to relieve the pressure to a great extent. If we make a mistake, when we leave the table, we no longer have control of what will happen. We need to use our time away from the table to stay fully focused and ready for when we get our chance. If we don't get this chance, unfortunately we must accept it and congratulate our opponent the victory. Sometimes it is very hard to accept, but trust me, by following the process, you will gradually build your skills, and at some point you will say, hey, it really works, and it was worth the sacrifice.
In July this year, he turns 30 years of age, Alexander Kazakis. There's no better...
But if you wanna take your game to a much higher level, you need to check this video, where I present 5 very important things you need to know about pool stroke to make it more accurate and effective.